In my practice as an art educator, my philosophy of how and what I teach connects most closely with realist and experimentalist ideas. In realist education, design and order are present in the classroom. The curriculum is mainly predetermined but can still be open to discussion. In my classroom, to gain knowledge, students must observe truths or reality and receive factual information. Like Aristotle, I consider repetition to be a key tool in developing good habits. Having a discussion and sharing ideas with peers helps to retain knowledge, but I still strongly believe in the effectiveness of studying material in order to recognize and master it. My main goal in my classroom is to try to get my students to use logical processes or reasoning to find answers. Realism isn't only about reciting information for your students, it's also about demonstrating real life situations. Experimentalism is another philosophy that is very present in my teaching practice. This type of educator believes the world is an ever changing place, as is the art classroom. I openly accept change and continually seek to discover new ways to expand and improve my students' knowledge. Experimentalists rely heavily on social experiences, and I try to create those for my students. With this philosophy, learning occurs through a problem solving or inquiry format. As an art teacher, I aid my students in discovering and experiencing their art through real world experiences. My students are the focus of the teaching and learning process. Truths about knowledge come from what works, meaning, however best they learn is how I try to adapt to teach for them. Cognitive reflection and social reasoning in the classroom helps to cultivate students' artistic performance. Two enduring ideas that I find to be important to teach in the art education classroom are community and culture. Teaching about culture in the art classroom is important to me because it is what makes everyone so unique, but it can also be what brings us all together. When learning about culture in the art room, my students learn about other cultures' customs, language, values, beliefs, foods, and of course, arts and music. They may learn how to say hello and goodbye in another language. They may become aware of differences and are encouraged to accept and celebrate those differences. My students also learn about what kinds of arts other cultures have established and might start to look to them as influences in their own art and maybe even find role models. In my classroom, I try to hide stereotypes, develop a just and equal morale, and embrace differences that bring us all together as humans. Community in art education is also important to me as a teacher because, similar to culture, I think a community creates a sense of belonging. A community is something everyone can be a part of and is a place to share experiences. While learning about community in art education, students have the opportunity to study what's necessary for sustaining a community, as well as the challenges present within a community. In my classroom, my students might discuss ways in which to appreciate their communities, build up or improve them, and unite its members. A community arts project in my classroom looks like my students collaborating as a classroom with one another to develop an installation idea for their public community. Sharing ideas in the art classroom brings my classroom community together, and taking those ideas out of the classroom when collaborating with the public community brings a whole community together. I think that grouping artwork or art activities into categories like this organizes content knowledge in a creative way that supports the big or enduring idea. These ideas focus on using real human experiences as a foundation. So, learning through enduring ideas is important for my students because I think it has long term value for transferring knowledge across the curriculum.